Okay, welcome to our virtual scouting session. It's it's being recorded and it's being broadcasted live, so it's going to be exciting. It's the first time I try it, the first time we try it, so we'll have to see how it works out. But first, I would want to ask you something. I would want to ask you your what kind of animal are you going to bring? Because you're on Noah's Ark, and I'm going to bring a penguin, and yeah, a penguin is good. Yeah, and what kind of animal are you going to bring?
An elephant.
No, Greg, you are not supposed to bring an elephant. That's not okay. Try again.
Giraffe.
Ah, a giraffe. Giraffe is good.
Well, no, Craig. You're going to have to stay a while. We'll leave you out a while you choose an appropriate animal for this Noah's Ark. But we have to save the planet, so we have to put in an animal with each one of you so this can work, you know? It's kind of a networking process we're going to go through. So let's keep on with somebody else.
Cheetah. Alexander.
Alexander wants to bring a cheetah.
Peter, I think he can't get on. Let's keep on. Let's see somebody else.
Okay. We're going to see somebody else.
Or animal?
Yeah, what kind of animal?
Monkey?
And your name is?
Invoke.
Oh,
want to bring a
no, he can't go. Not yet, at least. What's your name? Ray. Ray, what animal you want to take, Ray?
Wolf.
A wolf? No, Ray, you can't go either. Not yet. Let's see back there. What's your name? What animal do you want to take, Dominic?
Mouse deer.
A what?
Mouse deer.
No. But I want to go too, and I haven't chosen an animal. I'm Rafe, right? And I want to take a rhinoceros. So let's see. What's your name? And what animal do you want to take?
Panda.
Uh-huh.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I think it's okay. You can go.
So we got a panda.
Come on, come in there, in their ark right away. Come on, make it in. Okay, good.
I'm Luis. I will take a Galapagos turtle.
Oh, Luis, you're not gonna be able to be with us for a while. But
Aye.
try it again. Try it again. Now in a while.
Again. Okay.
Okay. No, give him a chance. Let's go over to somebody else.
Okay.
Let's see.
You got a polar bear.
What's your name?
Cheng Kyong.
No, a polar bear. No, Shing. No, I think not.
And if he wanted to bring a cheetah?
Oh, yeah. That would be a good idea. You want to bring a cheetah?
He wanted to bring a cheetah.
Yeah, but he couldn't go with a cheetah.
I can go with a cheetah.
Yeah, you can go with a
I'll bring
cheetah.
a cheetah, yeah.
Oh, come over then. Come over. It's good. Okay.
My name is Helen, and I'd like to bring a hyena.
Oh, great, Helen.
Oh,
Come
fantastic,
in.
Fantastic.
That's what we need. Predators, too.
Mouse deer. Already choose the animal. Mouse deer. Another tiger.
Oh, not yet.
yeah.
Let's see. Somebody else. Somebody else here wants to try it again? You want to try it again?
I want to bring one rhinoceros.
Oh, yes, you can bring one. I have one, but you can bring another one. Come over.
Two.
Yeah, sure. Come in.
Male and female one. That's
Yeah,
also
we
good.
need
That's also good.
pairs, you know, female and male, and so it works. What else? Who else?
Okay. Somebody else. Oh, over here. They're looking very excited.
Can I say it in Swedish? Because I know it in Swedish. Anka. It's fish. Anka.
Yeah.
She wants to bring an anka.
Well,
I
good.
don't know what
Yeah,
kind of animal it
great.
is, but
Now, later you explain to me what that means, but
so
come over.
And since the Swedish were so successful, I'm going to try another Swedish.
Oh, it's a duck.
My
Right,
name
great.
is Hilda, and I want to bring a hippopotamus.
Very good hippopotamus.
Oh, great.
Hippopotamus. Yes.
Great.
Yes.
We're getting the ark full now. Who else? Spontaneously, say your name and the animal and come
Mohammed
in.
from Maldives. How about a fish?
What kind of fish?
Tuna.
No, a tuna.
not
He wants to
yet.
bring a tuna. No. Anybody else? You figured it out already, or?
Monkey.
And your name is?
Muhammad Atikuzaman.
He wants
Come
to bring a
over,
monkey.
bring your monkey.
Yeah, yeah.
Who else?
A tiger. Ferdos Ahmed.
Ooh. Well, let's help him out so we can get everybody on board fast. Anybody wants to try it again on this side?
Yeah, I've got it.
You want to try it?
I got it.
Rabbit.
A rabbit? Oh, I think not yet. Because, Craig, you could bring a crane. You could bring a crane. You want to bring a crane? Craig? Okay, Craig, come over with your crane, and you can come right in the ark. Okay. Craig brings a crane. That's good. Who else?
Hi, I'm Bertolt. How about Komodo? You know Komodo?
Yes, but Alberto, that's hard. You can't come in with a Komodo. You need another animal to come in. Okay? Somebody else here. What's your name? Yes. Invoke.
Yes. Maybe lion.
A lion.
Yes.
And your name is?
Invoke.
Invoke with an I.
Yes.
Well, I think with an I you cannot bring a lion. Huh? What could you bring? Well, the idea of this game is to bring an animal same as your name's first letter, right? So, which animal would you bring now?
Ah, that's a hard one. An animal. with an eye.
Buffalo, okay. And you would bring an iguana.
Inkfish.
Oh, okay. Come over.
Yeah.
Inkfish, okay. Come
Very
over.
tasty too. So that's also good.
What else? What's your name?
How about donkey?
Donkey, great. That's good. We need to move things around. Okay.
A lion.
A lion. Okay, now.
Monkey.
What's your name? Mohammed, bring a monkey. Good.
Chan. Kangaroo.
Great, a kangaroo. That's good. Zebra, what's your name? Okay.
Zamir brings a zebra. That's very
Great.
good. That's very good.
Shuhaira, I bring a snake.
Snake?
Snake.
Great.
I love snakes. Welcome. And what kind of animal are you going to bring in Noah's Ark?
Can I be a koala?
No, I'm sorry. No, Wendy wants to be a koala.
Oh. And
one more. Alexander Scorpion.
Oh, a scorpion for Alexander.
Oh, Alexander, that's a hard one. Yeah, but I'm aardvark. Yeah, it eats ants.
Ants.
Yeah, the aardvark eats ants, and the ants. Well, maybe they're an animal. But yeah, the ants too.
Okay.
Yeah. Double gain. Hey, thank you very much, all of you. We've tried to make a small game so we can know each other, and I see that we have various names from the Z to A, so from A to Z. So that's good. Give us ourselves an applause. Thanks. All the Sioux, yeah, right. Okay. Now we're going to have a presentation that we're going to project with some ideas about virtuality and social medias. The purpose of this session is not to give you what you already know, but it's to extract from each one of us the ideas that can lead us to grasp with virtuality and social medias in scouting.
And I think I have to add to that it's one of the hardest sessions of the entire Congress. And why is that? That's because social media is a very, very common knowledge. And we all know a lot about social media, but there are actually no real experts. For a real expert, you have to study it for years, and it only exists for a couple of years. So if you're here to be amazed with knowledge about social media, I don't think we have the knowledge, but we can try to grasp what social media is all about, and what are the trends, and what are the the tendencies that the social media is going for. So we're going to need your help on this session because we don't know all the answers.
The document we're gonna put through now was in a Dropbox in the page for the social community and the Facebook for this session. So maybe some of you do have it. We're gonna project it now. Thank you. Okay, we're going to have a presentation done by Solari Corporation about social media, present and future. I think it's very orienting. I think it gives us some idea of social media and how it's been developing. And so we can take the lights off so we can see it a little bit better, please. Social media. How did we used to communicate? For 5,000 years, we used paper, stone, metal to communicate ourselves. For 560 years, we've had the book, paper. Before, we used to use animal skins. That was superior to what we used before as wood and metal and other materials. For 135 years, we've had the phone with us. And, well, things seem forever. That they've been there all the time. If you ask young men how long since they had a microwave, they say all my life, forever. Microwaves have been here forever for youth. And cell phones and internet and many other things. But have they? How do we communicate now? Most of these media have 7-9 years of being created. We're going to see kind of the trail ahead, the state of social media, understanding some social media, the rules, how communications are affected, and the future of social media. Social media is a dominant means of communication now and the most dominant means of communication in the history of mankind. Email. Only 39 years old. And that is a statement that can be questioned because in many places, email doesn't have 39 years. Maybe in the States, maybe in some places of Europe, but not worldwide. Some places 10 years, some places 15 years, some places 20 years. Some places they still don't have email. So we're currently moving into email in some parts of the world, and in some others it just has 39 years. Generation Y and X consider email as something of the past. Those are the youth born in the 90s and in the 2000s. Youth that have been born with the social media as they grew up. Some universities don't distribute anymore email accounts. They used to. When I was in college, we didn't have them. But when some of my cousins were, they used to have their own email accounts. Now they don't. Now they give them e-readers, iPads, tablets. Many schools distribute a tablet with all the books inside so that they can study. They don't use any books anymore. Have you had that case with sons or cousins or nephews? Blogs. 11 years old, 12 years old, 13 years old, very new in some places. Something newer than emails that we were thinking about 39, 40 years of emails going around. 200 million blogs in the internet, and we think that there are many more, maybe more than 300 to 400 million. Wikis, and wikis is an interesting word because it's a Hawaiian term that means quick. So we do every wiki. There's Wiki Scout, Wiki Leaks, Wiki whatever. And it all means a quick access to information. 8 years old, 10 years old, 6 years old, 2 years old. Depends where you are from. Wikipedia with 15 million articles. Done by whom? By the people themselves. By those who access and put in their point of view and build knowledge in this way. 50 million articles. It's accurate. And it's been shown to be as accurate as Britannica. And it's just done by people, regular people, not scholars. So things have changed. Before we needed a scholar to tell us it was true. Now we look it up in a wiki and we don't even know who wrote it, but surely not a scholar. Okay? One of the most important things is that 78% of the articles are not in English. English was the dominant language in the internet. It is not so anymore. Other languages are making inroads in the internet, so now we don't have an English dominance in the internet. How many users are there in China? Panama has 3 million inhabitants. I imagine that amount of users in one small Chinese city. So things are changing very fast. Professional networks, 7, 8, 9 years old. Main companies in the world use it for recruitment of personnel. Social networks, Facebook. How many years since it came out of Harvard? We have the movie around for how many years? 2 years, 3 years since the movie came out? And that came out about 4 years after the real situation happened in Harvard. So how long has it been around? We have more users in Facebook than all the rest of the countries in the world except India and China. Content communities, very, very new. 4 or 5 years old. YouTube, second largest search engine in the world. Microblogging. Twitter, that has more users within one account than countries have citizens in them. Ashton Kutcher has more followers than population in Panama. The medium age of the users, as we see, it's not that low as we thought. It's medium age people that are using this. Maybe productiveness, maybe work, maybe keeping in touch with friends, maybe, I don't know, maybe a lot of things. But youth is in it since they're very young nowadays. We could see that radio took 38 years to reach 50 million users. In 13 years, TV got to 50 million users. And in 4 years, internet got to 50 million users. So how time spans for getting through to the social society, it's been diminishing threefold, fourfold across the years. Years to reach 50 million by iPod, 3 years. So we see that we're in a process that's very, very fast. Facebook, 200 million users in a year. iPad applications, 1 billion in 9 months. Social media has overtaken pornography as the number one activity in the web. And we knew that once, a couple of years back, pornography was the main activity. Now, it's been overcome by social media. Social media isn't a fad. It's a fundamental shift in the way we communicate. And I think that this is the issue that we're to analyze today. And here, thank you. And here, Peter will present us a perspective.
I have to switch between different. There he is. So this was. When I did some research, I looked up some stuff on the internet, of course, because that's the first thing we do nowadays. And I asked some friends, and one of them said, "Well, if you want to make some categories out of social media, there are some different platforms for different uses. And if you want to explain it, look up the donut theory." And that's what I did. I looked up the donut theory. And of course you will recognize some of them, and some of you don't recognize. That's because you're using some and you're not using the other. And it just said it all. It's about Twitter is about giving a very short message what you do or what you are experiencing at the moment, just in 140 characters. Facebook, that's all about identity. Foursquare is about the places you've been and the places you've been regularly. So if you become a major of a certain place, that means that you were there a lot of times and you presented yourself on the internet. Instagram is about making photos. Everybody is going to be a photographer nowadays, and everybody can be a good photographer using apps as Instagram and sharing your photos through Instagram. YouTube is all about movies, showing what the process is at the moment, showing what kind of atmosphere you're in. LinkedIn skills, we already mentioned the LinkedIn in the presentation. Pinterest is all about what are you interested in and what are your friends interested in. Pinning recipes, pinning restaurants, so you can look them up fast. Last.fm, well, they're internet radio, and Google Plus. It's they're doing a very good job in claiming your identity for their own purpose. Very aggressive, but it used to be only for the Google employees. They were the only users, but nowadays, if you click yes too many, then you're all over Google Plus. What we're going to do next, because this is just an introduction of what is around and what's the idea with social media and how does it evolve nowadays. And it looks like if it's taking over the world. What we want to ask you is some questions. And we would like to think along with you, you think along with us, what the answers to these questions are. And at the end of the session we're going to have 3 short statements. And that will be the product of this session.
We're going to work by groups. We're going to work 3 groups, the same question, and reach conclusions in the following way. We're going to have somebody that can moderate the debate inside the group. Somebody can take down notes of the group so that when the conclusions are reached, we can have them noted down. And the way of working will be, first, we will brainstorm and receive all possible solutions anybody wants to present. We will not question them. we will note them down. Then we will analyze their value and see if we can agree to them. And if we agree to them consensually, then we leave them there. And if we don't, we eliminate them. So we end up with something we can all live with. And that becomes our conclusions. The three groups come up, present their conclusions, and wherever they overlap, we eliminate that and just leave the things that each group has contributed to the main conclusion. Does that sound okay? Okay? If it's okay, then we will do that, and we will divide first into three groups. We'll do it in a simple Scout way. We'll count from 1 to 3, and we'll do 3 groups. And we'll start out here with Craig. Okay, group number 1 will set up its shares inside this gray area. You will be in the camera. Okay, these masking tapes indicate the forward side of your share, the back legs of the share, or they can be, so that you can appear in the camera. Please try and you so that you can be seen by the camera. The other two groups, number 2 and 3, are free to choose their location. In the next question, we will change. Group number 2 will come over here, and group number 1 will choose their own locations, and then at last, group number 3 will come up, so everybody will get exposure to social media.
Yeah. And before we start moving around, and of course we have a fourth group, and those are the online participants, the participants who are back home having some interaction with us through our OCLs. And we are going to ask them to do the same, answer the question, and we're going to read it out loud because I'm told that it's not very viewable back home. The question is, our view of social networking, valuing current and future trends in the use of internet as a communication tool. What is our view of social networking? Okay? Well, we can start moving then. One over here.
Come over this side so that you can. Okay, sure.
we have to answer this question. Because I don't have any new maybe some the Facebook, Twitter. We using social media in this context. The first time in the world that it is, yeah. It's a big investment. I hear from the world social is the third one for the year with Gokong. Applying social media in the world level. So next year we don't have to have so many people doing. Send one, the rest stay at home. I will monitor the Roscoe conference for maybe. But for SHK, the Physical Association of Hong Kong, we don't have the official Facebook page on Facebook because the computer may not, the bank may not control the content on the maybe some standards, the bullying, the children. Very hard to control the content. I think that is also the experience. A lot of associations when social media first come on board. I think there's a lot of worry because just like the internet, social media is not something that you can control. Then the question is whether we are mature enough to reach a stage whereby we relinquish control and allow for it to be self-policing. Really, because I think control is something of the last century. I remember, when, in my country, Singapore, we did not, last 10, 20 years ago, they made a decision they're not going to allow satellite dishes because you can't control what the people watch or receive on satellite dishes. So they went for the cable option. And in today's context, you find it's a very stupid decision. And we are stuck with it because we have been invested so much money in cable. We live with that decision. Right? But it's so troublesome, the cable and the home and so on. It's so easy. And now, how do you control the internet? Some people are free to watch whatever they want. You can't control it. So the same thing with Facebook. You can't control it. So the trend is there. You don't have an association one. Your kids are going to set up their own Facebook page. They are going to start copying Facebook page. Yeah. So then what's the difference between an official, non-official? I think we should grab the bulls by the association one, the district one, the group one, the individual. The social media is here to stay. The earlier we adopt it and try to take advantage of the benefits, the better it is. There will be the negative side, but I think we can deal with it. That's my opinion. I think it's a great tool. All these things that make communication a lot easier. You can now reach people everywhere instantly.
I think there's a risk that associations just another channel to get information as opposed to harnessing the media to create a dialogue with content, which is something that many associations have found difficult to do. All of a sudden, possibly it's not multiple conversations with members
it's also when we started that book, we had a lot of problems like feedback, negative comments and stuff. And then during that time, we kind of stopped it, kind of closed book, and then we tried to moderate. But some of us we were kind of against it. We said it should be open. And now what the change we have brought is all the headquarter commissioners, headquarter staff, including all commissioners, they are admin so that they can moderate into their own. But anybody is open to comment or upload photos and whatever they want. But since we have started that, those kind of negative things we don't get much. But we said to distribute information, sharing with lots of posters and also circulation then distribute that one. But main kind of problem we have is most of our big people, they are not kind of into this one. They take it too much officially. For example, when they want to write a comment, they want the grammar to be perfect and all those things. So this kind of difficulty it's a great tool. I think every episode should start with it.
In Malaysia, we have assigned assistant chief commissioner specific in social network. So they have to control all the posts and the feedback in Malaysia.
In Italy, what we choose is not to have an official Facebook page, as you have, but to create one when you have a clear target. For example, for an event, now we will have next year, we talk about this in the next section in the afternoon, a big event for rover and rangers about the courage, so a strong team, and so we made, of course, we have all the channels, everything for that, and of course, this is the goal, this is the target, and it is easiest to talk about a defined subject. And even for us, we didn't think it was so interesting to have a space where everybody can tell what he wants in a chaotic way, because maybe it's good to be free to discuss, but maybe for an educational purpose it's not so necessary to have the official one, because they already have their channels, their Facebook, their Facebook group and everything. So also for our event we have the official things, and of course the young, the rover create a parallel one, and we decided not to cut and not to kill it, because it was just a space that they needed, and they created to discuss about normal things.
We're starting to wrap it up, huh? We have to wrap it up and get to some conclusions.
No, I like what you say, because even Facebook is not a static thing, and social media trends are developing so fast. And this thing about an official Facebook is already becoming passive. And nowadays people are like what you say, there will be a Facebook for every event, and that's how it's going to be. Every Facebook is going to just be in existence for a couple of weeks, and that's it.
I think that's true, but I think you're right as well about official pages, but there's an expectation which is in part driven by an external thing to do with customer service companies and so on, that if you've got a question and you put it on the FR page, you expect an answer, an official answer from headquarters or whatever. But you're right, I think people would. But the risk is that someone writes a question and everybody answers, and you don't have an official answer, or you have in your case, because there's the profile.
For this kind of cases, we usually tell the related commissioner or department to answer. If it is, for example, related training or episode, we usually send a kind of take the message, and that person usually will give a reply. So before that, somebody might say something, but we usually ask the related person to give the comment so that.
But you can also get a lot of intelligence from the kind of questions that people ask of the issues that they raise, which I think should then be informing.
social media, actually you should not be looking for an official answer. The idea about social media is that everything
Time's running up. We got to wrap it up.
it should not be just
The phone is something of the past. And they can answer like that. We have to shift to well, from the brainstorming, like I said, it's good to see social media being used for running events. In relation to social media associations, there's some concerns about bullying, negative comments, whether or not control or no control, self-policing. We also talked about how seen not just as a channel for communication, but a channel to enable dialogue with members. Yeah, but we also picked up on the fact that some very specific purposes, particularly events.
Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? That's good. I thought it was for putting something in burning incense or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Group number 3. How about giving us your considerations?
And it would be nice for the person who is going to do the summary to stand on the green X.
Yeah.
That's because the people at home can see the person who's standing on the green X. That's over there. Yeah, there are 2 green X's. But,
The second
over
one.
there.
The second one.
Second one. It's very, very hard living in a virtual world, but we're trying to manage.
Ready? Group 3?
Keep it there. Keep it there.
You have the microphone.
Over there. Over there. Yeah, over there. And yeah. Oh, a new experience, but it's quite an interesting one.
Well, our conclusions are we divided in positive and negative sides. On the positive side, we think for scouting is good since it helps us to have a faster communication. Everybody can reach it. It helps the adults and volunteers with virtual meetings, which means less time for us to travel, or we can do some meetings during we are at home or things like that. It helps to the group level as well to the national level, which means that we sometimes organize our meetings through Facebook, so we can post whatever activities we are planning, but everybody in the group or in the group is informed about that. On the negative side, there's actually also quite a lot of things. The information in the internet is not always accurate. We have to be careful with what we communicate through the Facebook or Twitter. We have to take care of the rumors, because sometimes rumors are more powerful than the actual message. It lacks the human interactivity, which means that we need, through scouting, we need to help them to develop these social skills, which is not the face in front of the computer, but the face interaction with other humans, so face-to-face interactions. We have to be responsible for what we said through the internet, what we post, and And it's difficult to measure sometimes who gives the actual message. Sometimes it starts somewhere, but we don't know where. So sometimes that is also a difficulty with the internet.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yep. Give it over to the next group. And while you are speaking, Nelson here is our rapporteur, and he tries to capture your message. So, that was just filling the gap on the green X, and do your thing.
Our cameras here. Okay. I see.
Yes,
Hello, everybody. Okay. Again, I'm Jesse Chu from Taiwan, Scouts of China. Okay. And for these questions, the first question, our view of social networking. After our group discussion, we believe the social networking must be an effective way of communication. That is quite important. And we are valuing current and the future trends in the use of internet as a communication tool. That's no doubt. We believe it will be getting more and more usage and more interactive because the current platforms or the social network or social media, it's easy to access, ready to use, and the most important is free of charge. Okay. And just now we are talking about a question. Actually, I myself raised the question because I was told the population of our scouts is around 36 million right now all over the world. So what will be the advantages or the disadvantages if our scout, or we call it WSEC, whatever, we try to develop our own social media? Is that possible? Is that possible? Yeah, I think it should be an interesting topic and interesting question we could discuss. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and it's a very valid question, and we're going to talk about that question exactly in a moment. So,
just one piece of information: Messengers of Peace is developing a cell phone application for that purpose, for communicating the messengers of peace through their intelligent phones. So something is being done in that area. I don't know what else is being done, but at least that is in Inter-America. The Global Support Network developed a global network that is working in America and has space for all the regions in the Scout world for hosting all training courses, for hosting all knowledge universities for each of the areas, and for hosting a network area. So we do have at least that in that sense through global networking. We have it done. Any area can ask Mr. Ralph Dillman. Any area that needs or wants to use it can ask Mr. Ralph Dillman, and he has availability of space in the server to issue out to any of the regions in the Scout world.
And Ralph is working for the regional office of
Inter-America Regional Office.
Okay, thank you very much. The last group. That's Craig.
Okay, hello everyone. I've got some notes here. They're not on my iPad. They're actually handwritten. So relying on some old technology. We had a really good discussion, I think, and we started out by, first of all, commending WSEC, saying that it's good to see social media being used so intensively for a WSEC event like this, and it has fantastic potential to connect scouts from across borders. In turning to our discussion around how social networking is used in national scout organisations, we talked about the fact that some associations have concerns about having official social media presences because of the quote-unquote policing that then needs to be done to protect young people from bullying or negative commenting, but on balance, engagement with social media is seen as positive, and it's happening anyway, so we should find a way of working with it. There was a lot of discussion about how that should be policed, and it should be self-policing in essence. There was also some thoughts that we shouldn't just see social media as another communications channel where we transmit information, but actually use social media as a mechanism to create dialogue with our members, both young people and adults. There was also some mention that it's good to use social media channels to promote very particular events and activities that are taking place, and to bring together participants beforehand, let them enjoy the experience when they're together physically, and then to connect them again afterwards. So I think on balance, we're of the view that it's all positive, but that we need to take care about how we embrace social media and use it for specific purposes that are related to what we're in the business of doing, which is youth program supported by adults. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg. Yeah. Okay, and I've listened to the keynote speaker this morning during the opening ceremony. So I'll try to summarize, because that's one of the main skills you have to develop yourself. Yes, I was listening. Social media is here to stay in any form, and Rave and I already discussed it very thoroughly. What should we say about social media? And that's actually the thing I hear right now. There are no rules, there are no regulations, because it's a social thing, and it's not a channel, and it's not a way to communicate. It's a new form of interaction, and it has upsides and downsides, as I hear you say. The upside is that you can reach a vast amount of people very quickly, instantly, 50 million people in one click. But you have to be very careful what you do, because once it's there, it's going to be there. It's going to be there forever. If you can always look it up, because it's on the internet. So you have to be very careful what you do. So it's there to stay, but we have to manage the use of it. We have to learn how to use it. If that was my correct summary. There is also the online participation I almost forget about. Oh, that's very nasty of me. And of course they wrote along. Did you read any interesting things?
Well, here's a comment from the National Informatics Commissioner from Scouts of Greece. He says the most important for an NSO is to define how does it want to work with social media, and what kind of contents they're going to post online. Is that provide a better image of Scouts to the society. An NSO should set policy for the social networks so as to cope with data protection and how to protect their youth members.
I think that there's two issues in this one issue. One is NSOs and the movement. The other is people, youth, leaders, that by themselves will network, by themselves will communicate. And some things we can do if they're in the official network or in the official channels or with the official way of doing things. But the other thing is that they will communicate anyways. And in the World Scout Conference that we had in Tunisia, one of the documents regarding governance that we had at that conference said that the times are changing, that the roles of international commissioners have to be revised, because now people don't go through international commissioners. They communicate directly, and you cannot do anything about that. It's impossible to regulate, because people don't work inside your network. They work through the networks, through the social media, through the internet. So we have two issues in this one issue. One is the NSOs, WASM, and the other is the people. Youth, young adults, and adults that use social media every day for socializing, for communicating, for whatever other needs they have. So I think we have to distinguish those two things, the institutional part and the human part. One can be regulated. The other one, we can, through our values, have people self-regulate themselves. And then maybe that is something else worth discussing in another type of forum. How scouting can make a difference in the social media too, by having people that are well-oriented and have moral guidelines on the way they behave in the social media. But that is another subject that maybe is longer than this one to discuss. So I think two issues have to be considered here.
Yeah, and you made a little bridge to the next questions, and we said we're going to do 3 questions. I already have it on the screen. I said we said we're going to do 3 questions, but looking at the time, maybe this will be the last question. And it's about how can we use social media to our advantage. How can we master it within the scouting program? And what will be the added value? And think about innovations, about making it part of the scout program. Think about those kinds of ways of mastering the social media within the scout program. So we are going to put group number 2 in front of the camera. And the group number 1 and 3. Yes, this is also being recorded, and it will be posted on the internet. And I just said what's on the internet is there to stay. So be careful what you do.
Actually, in the scout training program, I got a lot of what we call the fundamental information, which no need to necessarily through the troop meeting or board meeting to do it. We can release it through a social electronic media. Or even for this conference, some conference actually we need to have a discussion in around this. And then we have some idea and we can take it at the time to share during, let's say, for the troop meeting, we can share the experience and pay more by the some method to do more on that.
Australia set up learning, which is encouraging people to train because they don't have to give up so much of their time on weekends. They prefer to be able to train when they want to. So as much of it as possible is now online. One weekend at the some place to go. Because the downside is that people are not meeting with other families. They're not universally successful. And there are parts of Australia, a lot of other regions, so there's some northern parts and some certainly they still can. So we are making use of the
in my opinion, social media is a very good tool to propagate scouting globally. Till date, number of people don't know about the scouting idea. They don't have about the scouting idea. If we use this social media in a positive way, we can reach a large number of people through social media. On the other hand, in our own management, but madam said, e-learning is very important tool because scouting are based on the volunteer and don't have time to spend 7 days, 5 days camp traditional role. If we have 2 parts, one part is practical, for practical purpose, they should come to the
theoretical part. No harm if we cover the theoretical part in e-learning or Indian. It is a very good tool and save time, and you can get more information. My opinion.
Yeah, I think I agree with all of you. So, we can use social media as a tool for our scout program. I think not only for our scout program, for all scout activities, including membership. Now in Indonesia, we already have an online membership. They put their name, their address, then will be validated by the scout group, and scout group goes to the branch, and the branch will be validated and goes to us. So now it's began, and also some of the handbook already made it scanned PDF and goes to our website. So I think good.
Just gonna add that the organizations need like official channels, like official things, so we can use these tools to inform the people the official part. Because sometimes there's a lot of pages and channels, that people saying things, so we must create something that is official. The other one, about training, I'm very agree with all of you. That helps a lot for e-learning, but also we have implemented a kind of library, like a virtual library, so you can download documents or read books. Also, I'm gonna read the conclusions. It is good for training programs. It can be shared and implemented more like I think this is in a global way, not only like a national. Good experiences with e-learning processes. It's a good tool to globalize and reach more people through social media, which means not only inform about the scouting to scouts, but also to inform about what the scouting is to more people, even though they don't do scouting. The online membership and registration, which means I would add here that not only the social media is a help, but also to use the usage of the technology is something that we need to develop in all the organizations.
Share to contribute the thoughts of the youth people and by the leader to see how we can schedule an implementation plan to help on that. I think also, I also agree. I think the leader, I don't know, in some of the group in the region they have, but not all in the country. But some of the group they have the leader. How to tell it, not teach but give explanation about the social media, the negative way, the positive way. So the young people know, oh, I must be careful if I get some information from social media, something like that. Yeah, education. Yeah.
Because we teach children how to use Linux, how to build a bridge.
Right.
We also teach children how to use the virtual
Actually, something that must come also from the family, because it's like when your mom tells you not to open the door to strangers, so it's the same. That it happens to us that not everybody knows, at least yet, something that we have to teach them how to do it. But the difficulty is that many of the adults are learning at the same way that the young.
Yeah.
So how to teach it? Everything is very new for everybody.
It's a process of raising children. In this case, you're raising each other.
Yeah, right. And technology is very fast, so everybody's learning everything at the same time.
I think one of the difficult things is that there are no rules in social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's very often.
You cannot explain to a child the principles of interacting with another human being, for example. You can't teach them how to use a medium to participate in.
Nowadays, some of mid-level, some of the mid have their own websites. They have their own Facebook page. Throughout this is the purpose of starting and interact with each other. Unit level, in the same time the district level also. They have their I think we can message skill like some professors. They will have a close group, not a really open group. Actually, it's open to public, but you can see a close group. So this means that what they discuss the topics within guidelines, there is some regulations on that. You cannot break the rules. So everybody, when they participate the discussions, they have to show their discipline. This is a freedom of speaking, but you cannot just say something without any support. You need to think about it, whether I can just idea to share with everybody. Just like the financial groups, usually there are a lot of chat rooms, but what they sort of idea, they will not put the rumors. If they know, if they put the rumors, nobody will trust them. I think it is really important is can we develop a lesson like
self-regulating?
Yeah, with the discipline, more discipline to the user himself. So we can still share the thoughts, but we cannot say something without it's not effective. Yes.
It's also the power of social media.
I already said to Okay, okay, and we just realized that we're also newcomers in this virtual world of broadcasting, live broadcasting, and we didn't use the microphone in the last wrapping up. So it's going to be partially a silent movie for the ones who are going to view the recorded session. Well, that's okay. It happened. So the first group, who wants to stand on the green X to do a summary of what you just discussed? Group number 1? Who was group number 1? You're group number 1. And there you go.
So we had quite an interesting discussion. Let me just check my notes because I've not quite summed them all up yet. Yeah, we talked a little bit about, yes, we should be encouraging the use of social media and networking within Scouting, and even at the level of the patrol and the individual, we should be doing that, but we need to take care that young people don't adopt a persona that is not reflective of their reality, that they don't become someone else online, that they need to take care, because everything that they put out online will persist for some time. So in terms of training, we can encourage them to be smart when they go online and use social networking. We also talked about the fact that social media can open up at the patrol level the entire world, that rather than just looking within your troop or unit or your group or your district, that even at the level of the patrol you can start to look much wider and reach out. We talked a little bit about the need to support leaders through training who are maybe not familiar with all of the social media channels. They'll probably have an awareness that social media is being used, but we need to help them understand that young people will be using social media to communicate amongst themselves and with others, both within and outside of Scouting. About halfway through, we thought we wanted to ask or answer another question that's not there, and our conversation kind of drifted on into discussion around gamification, so talking a little bit about the fact that for over 100 years we've been rewarding and awarding young people with badges, and increasingly we see apps and online activities that also reward engagement in that way, and maybe there's some potential there for us to be thinking smarter about how to use social media in ways that we're perhaps more familiar and comfortable with. And that led on to discussion about the technology, about the fact that mobile devices with GPS and so on allow us to actually do activities that get us out into the real world using technology, rather than the image that we might have of people sitting at home in front of screens, that actually with mobile and the rise of mobile, that we can use that to get people out in Scouting. I think that sums up what we discussed, but I see people from Group 1 nodding, so I'm happy with that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Group number 2.
Our conclusions are the following. The training programs can be shared and implemented not only locally but in a global way. So it's something that we can take advantage of. There's a good experiences that were shared for some of the partners of the group about the e-learning processes that they have implemented in their associations. Also is a tool for globalize and reach more people through social media. This meaning not only into Scouting, but also to inform about what the Scouting is to more people, even though they are not the Scouts, but they can be aware of what the movement is. the use of technologies different to social media, but that can help the organizations as a registration of online membership and some other that we mentioned already, like e-learning and stuff like that. We have the need to create official channels, like pages and profiles of not only the organizations, sometimes also the groups, so they can communicate the official information of what they are doing in the scouting. Teach the youth and adults how to use in a proper way, what to share, what to say, what to post. So it's something that, as many said, is here to stay. So it's better that we learn fast about the tools and how to teach them about that. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. And group number 3.
Hi. We're just talking about how we can use it, this social media, and what we want to say. That first of all, it's the place where we can recruit new scouts. Place where place where we are talking with parents, not from person to person, but through the fan page. We're just talking to parents. Someone share photo and with his daughter or son, and his friends, his parents see that, oh great, there is a great organization, I want to see it. And the other to share information between scouts, but not by fan page, but through the groups, Facebook groups. It's best place for sharing even information or files or big text, not for like Facebook page. And the main I don't like it. What we should another say? That's what we wanted to say.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. And the fourth group, that's the online group. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, here's a comment from the National Informatics Commissioner of Scouts of Greece. He says, social media can help Scouts to promote our work. On the other hand, we are trying to embrace Scouts members by giving them information quickly regarding to the events and activities, and even engage people. For example, is the WSEC fundraising for Scouts Brothers in Philippines. Another Rover Scout mentioned that social media can help him to keep up to date with those events he can't directly involved, like this World Scout Education Congress.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'll try to make a short summary of it. What I heard is that we should use all forms of social media not only as an extra tool for the sorry for the people back home, they're screaming behind their computer right now. Not only for a tool for disseminating our program, for disseminating the results of our program, but also to do some acquisition, so to do some profiling of what we do to new groups or to people who haven't met scouting yet. So we should use it as something added to what we do right now in our program. And what I also heard is that we have got an educational role, that we should learn the scouts not only to act in a patrol or to give some leading to a patrol or to use an axe, but also how to use social media. What are do's and don'ts? Make them aware of points as that if you say something that is not correct, people will look it up instantly, and you will be corrected instantly. If you say something about somebody else, it will become an own life, things like that. I sat down for a little while in this group, and what I thought was very interesting that someone said, well, maybe we're trying to teach each other, because we, as a generation older than the vast majority of users, don't know how to use it, don't know how to behave on social media, and the kids learn faster, so they're learning us as well. I think that's also something to keep in mind. Okay, we have 2 more things to do and 5 more minutes. We're going to wrap it up. If you click twice, then I even have it on the... That wasn't... We have to wrap it up, and after that we're going to ask you to fill in a very short form, and you can leave it in the box on the wall on your way out. And we asked Nelson, are you okay with doing a very short summary? And did you manage to grab something? Yeah? Okay, I will give you a microphone. I don't know if it's working still after I dropped the tunnel. You can stand on one of the green X's.
Hello guys. As you guys were discussing, I was sorry. Thank you. As you guys were discussing, I was seated there quietly listening to what you're saying, and I hope I've been able to capture a few things that from what you've all spoken about. One thing that is very clear is that the use of social media has become really fundamental in whatever we are doing. And it doesn't matter whether we are talking about young people or even the adults. So it's more of a cross-generational issue right now. And again, the other reality is that brings with it some challenges that we need to consider whenever we want to use whatever form of social media that it is. And on our view on social media, valuing current and future trends, one thing that came out very clearly is the 2 aspects when it comes to the use of social media. We have the organizational element. How do we incorporate it within our associations, within the World Scouting movement? And also the other part is how do we deal or handle the human element? That is, how do we ensure that the content is right? How do we protect people from the risks that and challenges that come with the use of social media? And there was some interesting proposal of WSEC coming up with its own social media platform, and I think Ref also responded to that. Another critical thing to note is possibly the impact of the global membership of Scouting. If you relate that to the use of social media, what level of impact can that have? Consider the 36 or so million plus membership active on social media. It's a force that can promote a lot of positive things when it comes to social media. Having realized that we have the challenge of content, so Scouting, being a youth movement, can help to promote that positive education through social media. And on the question you just discussed on how we can master and use social media within the Scouting program, I think for me I captured 3 things. One, is how social media can be used for education and training, both within the patrols, within our associations, and also for adult training, because most of the users are young, and the adults play a big role in mentoring these young people. So it's good to focus on both. 2 is about membership. It is a tool to promote the work Scouting is doing, and also through that we can be able to generate more membership within the movement, encourage more young people to become part of the movement, and of course it being a tool for exchange both internally and also externally among Scouts from different parts of the world.
Thank you very much. Impressive. Thank you very much. And I would also like to thank our online community leader. Okay.
Well, I got an online comment. He said, children engaged in social media display poor social skill. Would like some comments.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. And thank you very much for your work during the session. Okay. Yeah?
Okay, the first one is children engaged in social media will display poor social skills. So what's your comment, sir?
It's a comment, it's not a question.
Anyone wants to comment on that? No? Okay. Joe?
We already discussed that in our group, so what we conclude was that we have to train them, and the scout meetings help us to do the interaction and develop these social skills outside of the room, not in front of the computer. So it helps us also to help them to focus in both interactions, because both are needed right now. So it's nothing that we can do. We have computers and we have humans, so we have to interact with both of them. So
I would just like to add that as we have to have outdoor savvy, we also have to have technological savvy and the correct use of social media too. And that's part of the work we have to do. We have to inoculize our youth against the dangers of social media. And I think we've proven to do that good. So I think that in this new media, this new area, we can do as good as in other areas we have worked before.
Okay, and there was a second question. And it will be last because we're running out of time.
Okay, here's many NSOs are making TV commercials on Scouting. How much effective is this to spread the message of peace, and what do you think?
Okay, the use of TV as a medium to spread the message of peace. Yeah, I think TV is a different medium because it's based on consumption, and of course, for a good message to spread, you have to use all kind of media there are. So I would say it will be a very good idea to do so.
Also, Peter, there's something that we have to take into account. Now, most TV stations, most TV networks put their contents through internet. So when you're here in Hong Kong, I'm sure many of you want to know the news back home. What do? You look your local channel up, your local newspaper up, and you put yourself up to date. So I think that all this is linked. The difference between the medias is going to become blurry as time goes by. And as we know, some media are disappearing. Newspapers, how many years will they survive? And so things are changing, but they're changing towards the side of social media, I think. So we got to be, as I said before, savvy, and we got to know where to put our ships. Because I think that's what scouting's about. Do things on time, do things well, and do things in a way that we can lead youth to a better path. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So the final thing to do is to fill in the how did they call it? They call it the postcard. Fill in the postcard and put it in the box on your way out. Thank you very much for being here.